You're listening to The Vault, a Forum Communications podcast featuring true crime and general intrigue from the upper Midwest. I'm Kris Kerzman, reading When the Cream Can Gang Robbed Its Way Across the Midwest, Leaving a Unique Calling Card, written by Thalen Zimmerman. During the early morning hours of March 29, 1938, a gang of robbers stole over $2,000 from the Miltona State Bank in Miltona, Minnesota. That's almost $40,000 by today's standards. It was a late winter morning when a cashier's son was returning a borrowed typewriter to the Miltona State Bank and discovered a tampered vault door and an empty safe. Cans of cream filled with water next to the safe told the tale. The Cream Can Gang had struck again. The Miltona State Bank safe was installed when it first opened in 1917. The manufacturer at the time claimed the safe was impregnable. According to a 1938 article from the Alexandria Citizen, after cashier W.F. Malm's son discovered the robbery, he quickly alerted authorities, prompting Sheriff Ben Ernest to arrive from Alexandria. Ernest called in 2 state officers to assist in the investigation. They discovered that the gang broke into the vault by cutting off the top half of the vault's dial, giving them access to work the combination. Then they used a torch to cut a 7-inch square from the top of the safe. The only things left were 2 cream cans filled with water to cool the safe after it was torched, which was the calling card of a group of robbers known as the Cream Can Gang. Ernest states in the article that the work was, quote, evidently done by a gang of professionals working the northern part of the state, as all clues pointed to the same gang that broke into the bank at Waban a couple of weeks ago. Fortunately for the bank, their losses were fully covered by insurance. Unfortunate for the robbers, if they had struck the next night, they could have acquired over $20,000, as the bank made arrangements to receive the larger sum of money to handle soil conservation checks. It is speculated that the gang stole their robbing tools, as a store in Brandon reported torches stolen within a short time before the bank heist. According to a 1984 Lake Region Echo article, Jeff and Clarence Bielke foiled an earlier robbery attempt at the Miltona Bank in 1933 after being awoken by a strange noise from the bank across the street. Clarence grabbed his deer rifle and the two went to investigate. They saw 2 men sneaking around the bank. The men noticed the Bielkes and took off toward their getaway car. Clarence fired toward it as the car sped out of town, but they escaped. The same article from 1984 shows a picture of the safe in the 1938 robbery and mentions that it eventually came into the possession of Jeff after it was repaired in the Twin Cities. This was not the first or last bank robbery committed by the Cream Can Gang. Newspapers from across the Midwest reported a gang of robbers who used cream cans of water to terrorize banks from North and South Dakota to Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin. The roster of the gang included 4 men: Ed Morozic of Little Falls, Virgil Dahlemer of Winona, John Howard of Minneapolis, and John Morrell, aka Specht, aka Morneau, of Duluth. Each member had a history of crime under their belts. From 1938 to 1939, the foursome led various law agencies on a manhunt that spanned across the Midwest for stealing thousands of dollars from banks and post offices. Then in May of 1939, their luck changed. According to a 1939 article from the St. Cloud Times, Howard and Morrell were captured on May 17, 1939, after a shootout with authorities in Sargent, Minnesota. Dahlemer was found a few days later near Pratt, Minnesota, and Morozic avoided capture for months until he was eventually caught on July 11, 1939, near Lake Vadnais. In October of 1939, each gang member was sentenced to 18 years in federal prison by Judge George F. Sullivan after they pleaded guilty to the attempted robbery in Sargent, according to a Star Tribune article from 1939. You've been listening to The Vault, a Forum Communications podcast covering true crime and general intrigue from the upper Midwest. Forum Communications is proud to be a part of the Trust Project. Learn more at thetrustproject.org.